Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott, and I'm going to show some new releases today that most of them I haven't seen many people talk about. One of them everybody's talking about. And then I have probably the lamest Grail of all time, but it's my Grail and I'm happy with it. So before we get started, just wanted to put out another reminder that Steve and I are going to be doing a live stream on my channel. Oh, sorry. And Dave, Cavernous Carnage, is joining us now, too. It's going to be this Saturday, the 8th at 2 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to talk about albums that were important on our metal journey / fandom. We're each going to pick 10. I still am waffling on my list. I'm sure they are, too. It's hard to pick just 10, but we're going to give it a go. And I'm sure we're going to have a great time. So join us if you feel so moved. All right, let's get straight into it. Let's start at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I bought this. The new 6 Feet Under, Killing for Revenge. And no, to the surprise of no one, this is fucking terrible. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I could. Chris Barnes sounds the worst he's ever sounded. He sounds now like he can't even keep on beat. He sounds like he's out of time with the music a lot of times. The first song, No Nothing Ingrates, is maybe the worst offender, so not a great first impression. When Jack Owen joined the band, I was very excited. I thought I'd inject some new life into it, but the riffs are just super generic and kind of boring. I will say the solos are pretty cool. Kind of the highlights of each song, and I'm not really a solo guy. And I didn't write down the guitarist's name. I don't know. He's been in the band. It's not Jack. It's some other guy who's been in the band for a few albums. But we are rewarded at the end by a cover of Hair of the Dog. So, I do love the shitty six Feet Under covers. So there is that. But, yeah, this is a total miss, and I have only myself to blame. It's like the people who hate Metallica and then keep buying Metallica albums and bitch about it. So I'm not bitching. It's more calling myself out on that one. All right, let's change gears. New Graveworm. Yes, a new Graveworm full length. I did an unboxing for this, but I hadn't listened to it yet. So this is the second full length Graveworm from this year already. And it is called, Lord of the Darkest Depths. So this one, usually with Graveworm, I say, if you like Graveworm, you're going to like it and kind of leave it at that, which isn't very descriptive, but I'm sure everyone's tired of me talking about Graveworm. First wave black metal. I don't want to use the word progression for this because that seems kind of antithetical to the whole primitive first wave black metal thing they've got going, and I wouldn't want them to progress too far. But there is some stylistic changes on this that I think are really cool and really add to it. Kevin's leads, they've always been a lead guitar, have always been a portion of the sound, but he kind of uses it sparingly, and I really like it. So I was very happy that the first half of this album, that's on every song. So much more layered with a melody harmony thing going on. So the first half of this album, I think, is fantastic. And the second half is good too, but that he scales back on that. And so the front half is what really grabbed me. But I would say if you have listened to Graveworm before and they didn't grab you, check out the first few songs on here and see what you think. I think it's an interesting new element that he's introduced to it that could really draw some people in that maybe didn't quite get it before. So Graveworm, Lord of the Darkest Depths. I've lost track of how many albums there are, but it's in the 20s. So jump on now. Lunar Spells, new Lunar Spells. I've been waiting for this. Sacraments of Necromantical Empires. This is a Greek band, but they sound Finnish, which is kind of bizarre. Usually the Greek bands you can pick out right away, but listening to them, I would never know they were Greek. So this is atmospheric, pretty melodic black metal. I got into them through Simon from Explosive Action's channel. He was talking about them, and I bought all their stuff that they had. They have a split, an EP, and 2 full lengths. This is the 3rd full length. And I was struggling what to say about this. It's very good. but it's kind of like the other albums. I'm going to cheat and say if you like Lunar Spells, you'll probably like this. No real new ground covered here. It's got 5 kind of lengthy tracks and an outro. It's like 35-ish minutes. So if you like that kind of atmospheric melodic black metal that sounds like it's finished, even though it's not, I would say check out Lunar Spells if you haven't. And this, if you haven't heard them, this is as good a place to start as any. All right. I got the new Rotting Christ. And again, I do not know the album number of this. It's in the teens for sure. So this is Pro Cristo or whatever, I believe. I got the box, the CD box, so that's a different cover image. And then inside, I'll show you the doodads after I show you the actual digipack here. Really cool cover, I think. Got a nice foil embossed logo there. And this version in the box has 2 bonus tracks, both of which are really good. 10 tracks on the normal, 12 tracks on this. And then the tchotchkes, the incense burner. It's just a disc of wood with a little hole in it and Rotting Christ kind of etched in there. Pretty flimsy. I won't think I would ever use it as an incense burner. I'm afraid it would just burst into flames. But I bought it for the bonus tracks, so whatever. And then we got this little tin deal. And inside, we've got some guitar picks. Kind of a neat little thing. I mean, it's going to sit in the box until I'm dead and it gets thrown in a dumpster. But whatever. I've got it now. And I got the 2 bonus tracks. That was the main thing. So Eli and I had been talking about Rotting Christ, and he was kind of saying, like, well, you know, they're good still, but they haven't really put out an awesome album in a long time. And I was like, I was forced to agree. It's been quite a while. I'm only a few listens into this, but I think this might be the best in a while. Like, maybe since Theogonia, which is a bold statement. But yeah, all the songs are really good. Very epic in the way of just the feeling of something grandiose going on. Not that they're long. Choruses. We've got, you know, the typical Rotting Christ vocals along with some clean vocals. Big epic orchestral sounds. Harkens back a bit to like the early days, like Triarchy of the Lost Lovers, I would say, with some of the melodies and stuff. And I believe it's kind of a concept of like the last Roman emperor who was resisting Christianity. I haven't delved in. My days of poring over the lyrics are long over, but from what I've gathered, that's kind of what it's about. So cool concept. And yeah, 10 songs are all good. And the 2 bonus songs, you know, a lot of times they're throwaways. They're like covers or whatever, but they're both really good too. So you can buy this and have them now or wait 5 years and they'll probably put them on a comp like they've done with every other bonus track. But yeah, highly recommend the new Rotting Christ. If you were ever a fan, I think it's a very strong one. And then this one, I just found out about this band actually from Trevor at Fumes of Hatred. Off Norden. This is their brand new full length America Septentralius something. It's on Darker Than Black. So just a word of warning. Metal Archive says these guys were into the nationalism NS deal. There's no sign of it on here that I can tell, but you know, if that's important to you. So this is a project from the dude that is the only guy in Ifernach, which is his more well-known project. So this is Goat Moon's an easy comparison. I would say Goat Moon with more of an RAC kind of feel, kind of like that bouncy, kind of punky, super melodic aesthetic. It's very folky, very epic at times. The folk parts can get a bit merry, but not over the top. I really do like it. It's very very positive kind of pagan black metal, I guess I would say. Interestingly, does a cover of Man of Iron, the Bathory song from, I believe, Blood on Ice, and it's labeled 1 and 2. I didn't know if he split it into parts, but he does it as an acoustic song, in part 1, and then more of a in his black metal style in part 2. So that was pretty neat. So yeah, new band to me, but I'm gonna look for their other stuff, and if that sounds interesting to you, yeah, check them out. Off Norden. And we'll wrap up. I'll try to keep this brief because everyone in the VC has already shown this. I just wanted to get my impressions of it because I actually opened it and listened to it. In a lot of the videos I saw, they hadn't yet. So this is the Anno Domini Black Sabbath set, the Tony Martin era, I guess you would say. I think everybody knows what's in this, but Headless Cross, Tear, Cross Purposes, and Forbidden. So I swore I wasn't going to buy this because I have all the CDs, and I would say if you don't have the originals, definitely this is a must. This is a must purchase. It's a well done set. Comes with this book. It's soft cover this time and not hardcover, but kind of an oral history, a lot of interview clips and whatnot, and kind of going through the stories behind what was going on. Particularly interesting was Forbidden. Kind of what happened with that. And tour, yeah, everybody's already shown this. I won't show all of it. So the cons, I'll go with the cons first. These CDs just come in this little cardboard sleeve that, you know, you can call it a vinyl replica all you want, but it's a fucking promo sleeve to me. And then the discs are in these little sleeves inside of it. I don't know, kind of chintzy. I know all the other Black Sabbath boxes have done that too, but I don't know. I'm not that into it. And there are no, as the CD goes flying, it's just the back cover. There's no insert or anything. And the book does not, sorry, I'm trying to get this up off the floor here. The book does not have the lyrics or, I mean, it's got the track listing and then like some of the credits, but that's it, which I think is kind of an oversight. They couldn't include 4 more pages in here to do that. The vinyl set does reproduce the inner sleeves, which have all the lyrics on them, but they don't do that in here. So that's kind of lame. On the positive side, all the remasters sound really good. Headless Cross and Tear especially, I think, really benefited from a remaster, really making it sound a lot more powerful. And it was a good remaster. It was, you know, overseen by Tony Iommi. It's not just some of these remasters, they just freaking crank it up into the red and call that a remaster. It's a good sounding remaster. And then I guess the main selling point of this is Tony Iommi completely remixed Forbidden. If you've heard it, you know, it's everybody's most hated Black Sabbath album. It sounds like absolute trash. It sounds like tinny and weird. It was produced by Ernie C. of the Body Count band, Ice-T's band, which that's kind of a story that in here that, let's just say it wasn't their idea. But so Tony's always felt bad about that album and wanted to redo it. So he remixed it, and let me tell you, it makes a world of difference. It actually sounds like a Black Sabbath album now. Now, it's not amazing. You know, the songs are the songs. The songs are what they are. But I think I had a mental block, too, with how shitty it sounded that it was hard to even appreciate the songs. So I've been listening to Forbidden a couple times, and I'm actually kind of getting into it a bit more. It's not great, but it's not now. Now it's not a complete embarrassment. So there's that. If you have all these, do you need this? If you care about hearing the new version of Forbidden, I would say you need it. The remasters are nice, but the original albums didn't sound bad either. So, you know, it's up to you. I decided I wanted it, and I'm not sorry I got it. I'm very happy with my purchase. So there's that. Oh, and the CD version has 3 bonus tracks. There were B-sides. They're fine. They're nothing all that special, but they didn't put them on the vinyl version for some reason. Like you couldn't have fit another 10 minutes of music across 4 LPs. Like it seems just like a weird, like, hey, let's make them buy both. So there's that. Anyway, I almost forgot the lamest Grail of all time. Here it is. It's a comp. Now, a lot of people talk about really cool comps that they got when they were getting into metal. Like if you were older, you got like the New Wave British Heavy Metal comps if you were over there, or if you're, overseas usually. Or if you were in America, you got Metal Massacre. Then you fast forward a bit and into the 90s, if that's kind of when you came in, or like the mid to late 90s, you got Death is Just the Beginning, or In the Eyes of Death, or some of those really cool comps. Well, this was my first comp. Twisted Metal. Check out that awesome shitty artwork. This is a K-Tel, budget comp. Bought it at so I had it on cassette. I bought it at the grocery store. I think it was like $5. And I was getting into metal. I had a couple of Metallica albums. I might have had Judas Priest's Painkiller by then. But I didn't have a bunch of spending money to throw around, $10, $12 a pop for a cassette. So I figured for this, $5, I got 10 songs by 10 different bands, and I would be able to check some stuff out. And you know what? Some of the stuff on here is pretty laughable, but I listened to this all the time, and it really did get me into some things. So I'll run through it quick. Lick It Up by Kiss. You'll notice none of these go together. The Headless Children by Wasp, which I fucking loved, and then I soon enough figured out a way to get that album, and I love that album still. He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask by Alice Cooper, the really shitty Friday the 13th Part 6 theme song. Love Is a Crime by Lizzie Borden. I friggin' love that song. That's on Master of Disguise, and then I got Master of Disguise. That's kind of like his Welcome to My Nightmare album. More kind of theatrical and more of a solo project than a band. Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne. It says live on here. It is not live. I don't know why they said that. I already knew that, obviously. I'll Never Grow Up by Twisted Sister. Really lame Twisted Sister song. Dressed in White by King Diamond. I hated it at the time. I couldn't stand his vocals, and this is one of his more screechy songs. But I listened to it, so. Come On, Feel the Noise, Quiet Riot. Yeah, whatever. Of Unsound Mind, Metal Church. I really loved that one, and that got me into Metal Church. And then Yank Me, Crank Me Live by Ted Nugent. So that's the lineup of Twisted Metal. And just got like some little photos in there. I went to a local store when I was on vacation, and this was sitting in there for a few bucks. And for a few bucks, I decided to relive my childhood and give it a spin. And it was fun. It was fun to kind of relive it. How many times am I going to play this the rest of my life? Probably not many, but so there it is. There's my shitty grail, Twisted Metal, the legendary K-Tel comp. You can keep your metal from others. I got Twisted Metal. All right, that's it, guys. A little bit of a long one. Sorry about that. Hope to see you in the stream Saturday. And as always, CM Punk is a piss baby. Later.